Hello everybody and welcome to our digital live stream today for DMU. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you're dialing in from in the world today. I'm Sam, a Postgraduate Careers Adviser working for DMU, which means that as part of my job, I get to work one-to-one and in groups with our postgraduate students around their career and around what success looks like for them and helping them achieve that. With that in mind, as hopefully you are here for today, today's live stream is going to be all about the career opportunities and career support that we have for you at DMU as a postgraduate student. Before that though, just as some housekeeping for today, hopefully underneath my head, which is floating, you can see a comment section. I will be taking your questions today and happily answering them live if I can, so do feel free to post a question, post a comment, or just join in the discussion if you'd like to. If there is a question that you've got that, for example, I can't answer for whatever reason, what I'll do is also provide my email address. Email me in and we can continue the discussion and find you some answers outside of our chat today. So whatever you post, we will find an answer for you, even if it's not right now. So in terms of DMU and how it's going to work today, I'll probably talk to you for about 15 minutes about the career support available to you through our DMU Works Careers and Employability service. However, beyond that, there'll be plenty of time for questions at the end if you need it. Just before I start with talking about our DMU Works Careers service though, I'd also like to highlight that while I'm going to talk about some of the extra things available to you as a postgraduate student, very much as a university, everything we do is dedicated to creating things and courses that are ready for industry and give you the skills you need to succeed no matter what you are hoping to do with your career. So while I'm going to be talking about some extra things you can get involved with, that's not to say that your course, your academics, and everything else at DMU will be also geared towards helping you focus on whatever it is you want to get out of your career and make you ready for that next step. That said though, DMU Works as a service is one of our biggest offers for our postgraduate students around career support, and ultimately is quite an effective service overall. We have around 60 staff dedicated full-time or part-time to working with our students in a variety of different ways. Also alongside that, we've also this year really happy to have been awarded in the National Undergraduate Employability Awards as the best career service in the UK. Now, while that is the Undergraduate Employability Awards, all the services that we talked about and submitted for that are available for our postgraduates as well. Now, there's a lot I could talk about for DMU Works as a career service because we do a lot of different things. And I'll be happy to talk in more detail with anyone who's interested after our live stream today. But for today, I'm going to narrow it down to just seven, still quite a lot, key services that we have on offer for you. To begin with then, we have our one-to-one appointments and coaching service. And this is one of the backbones of our careers offer for our postgraduate students. What this is basically a chance for you to get unlimited access to one-to-one advice and support with our trained careers advisors and career coaches. Now, the reason that I think this is particularly powerful for postgraduates is the flexibility it gives you depending on your career needs. And our postgraduates come in with a lot of different career goals. Sometimes it can be that, for example, if you're an international graduate, you're looking at securing a career in the UK or getting an international career. It could be that you are looking for a career change if you have a little bit more experience, or looking just to use your postgraduate degree to secure a promotion. Whatever that is that you're doing, our one-to-one advice is tailored to you. It's designed for your needs in mind, so it can be really responsive to whatever it is you're looking for. Alongside that, I'm also really happy that over the last year for our postgraduate careers appointment service, 100% of our evaluations for it have been 9 or 10 out of 10, which again, I think shows that our postgraduates find this service really useful. However, of course, it's not just about us having one-to-one advice with university staff. There's also the opportunity that we want to give you to actually meet and network with employees and industry professionals in a range of different ways. Now, we do this for a number of different ways throughout the year, but one of the biggest things is our links of employer events and networking service. So throughout the year, we have an absolutely massive calendar of our employer events on campus and off campus. Seriously, we have about, I think, 800 events we had over the last year alone. What these are is a chance for you to network and meet a variety of different employers in a variety of different ways, in a variety of different sectors, again, depending on what it is that you are looking for. So, for example, we have careers fairs, which are very classic. We have employer insight sessions, employer networking sessions, as well as some deeper schemes that enable you to build deeper relationships if you so want. One of our highest rated schemes that we've got at the minute is our professional mentoring scheme, our employability mentoring scheme, which gives students a chance to match one-to-one with an experienced and passionate industry mentor to, again, talk about things that are most important to you and your career needs. Again, this flexibility is something that we try and do in everything at DMU. We want to be, because our postgraduates come from a variety of different backgrounds, have a variety of goals in mind, we want to be able to do something for each of you if you need it there, which is why we put on so many different events. However, I also know that a lot of our postgraduates, like our undergraduates, are also concerned about employment, both at university and long-term for them after they graduate. And they often ask about, well, what job, internship, or placement opportunities are available for me. Now, I'll just make a caveat here before I talk about job and internship opportunities that placements, if you are going into a course which has a sandwich placement as part of your course, particularly if you're looking at, for example, some of our computing, engineering, and media courses, we have in every faculty a dedicated placements team dedicated to supporting you with securing that placement, looking after you on it, making sure you get the most out of it that you can. So I'm not going to talk too much about placements today, though if you do have questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I've talked about job and internships, but that's just so you're aware that we do have that service available. Now, for our job and internship opportunities, there's a number of different ways that we want to support our postgraduates with their future career search. We first of all have a dedicated jobs board on our careers portal, My Gateway. And when I say it's a dedicated jobs board, what I mean is that we have a team of DMU work staff who curate and manage that job board to make sure that everything we're putting on there is relevant for you. Makes it a lot quicker to find jobs that are relevant to you at that appropriate level that you're looking for. Alongside that, though, we also have a range of schemes that are dedicated to giving you paid experience whilst you're at university. There's two things I'd like to focus on today just for this live stream. The first is Unitemps. Now, Unitemps is our on-campus jobs agency. What this really is dedicated to doing is giving our students meaningful part-time work that is paid and paid well during their studies and during their holiday breaks. And the advantage of this is it's designed for you as a student because it's designed and run by the university, which means that many of the jobs that we offer are appropriate for you to balance alongside your studies, often have flexible contracts, and all of them will guarantee a good wage. We also have our Frontrunners internship scheme for the more graduate level work that you might be interested in focusing on. For example, we have a variety of different internships every year available in the university for our students. These are all paid and they're all at graduate level for 9 months part-time alongside your studies. So just an example, let's say that you're doing an MSc in strategic marketing or something like that. We have had frontrunners that have come on to do marketing at the university, gaining that theoretical understanding from their degree alongside the practical understanding on real life problems through that internship, which is useful not only for securing that understanding in your degree, but also useful when you go on to graduate and want to use that for either making a career change or going on to your next graduate employment opportunity. I can see we've got a few comments there, so I'm going to have a quickly look through that. I think what we'll do for the comments, everybody, is I'll go through everything I've talked about today for about 5-10 more minutes, and then we'll go over to the questions if that's okay with you. So in terms of, that's probably enough about job and internship opportunities, but for some of you, you might also be interested in our self-employment support. So for you, you might be thinking, actually, I don't want to go and do a job and internship. I want to start my own business. I know this is particularly common for our postgraduates who are working at a bit of a higher level than our undergraduates and perhaps have a little bit more experience under your belt. And again, there's a lot of experience and support here for you with that as well. We've recently been named one of the top 10 universities in the UK for enterprise and entrepreneurship as a university, which is fantastic. And we have an absolutely fantastic team at DMU Works Enterprise dedicated to supporting you. What they can offer you is quite similar to what we offer as a wider service, but it's really tailored towards self-employment and entrepreneurship. So they offer one-to-one appointments and advice, which can be anything from the practicalities, say if you're in business and budgeting, to actually the deeper questions around what is my business idea? Is it unique? Is it viable? What are the next steps? What are my goals? What am I going to do with it ultimately? Alongside that, they also run a variety of training workshops and events. They have a number of boot camps. They have a number of opportunities for pitch for funding for your entrepreneurship, particularly Pitch to Win, which is a business plan where you have to pitch your business to a panel, a little bit like Dragon's Den, if anyone's ever heard of that. and the winning pitch gets £1,000 of funding for their business. Alongside the training and the one-to-one appointments there, they also run a huge calendar of events like we do generally for employers and employer networking throughout the year to give you the chance to meet like-minded entrepreneurs, perhaps find some co-founders if you are interested in starting a business, and just hear about from successful entrepreneurs about some top tips that they've done. Now, I'm also aware, alongside those jobs and internships and starting a business, that many of the people that we'll be dialing in today are international students or international graduates who are looking to come to the UK for the first time. Now, first of all, what I like to say here, which is a common concern that I hear from our prospective international students, is that everything I'm talking about today is very much open for you as well. There's no distinction in what I'm talking about between home students and international students. It's open to everybody. That said, I am also aware, and we as a university are also aware, that sometimes there can be some additional support or some tailored support you would like as an international student to support you with your career prospect, whether that is hoping to stay and graduate and work in the UK, whether that is to undertake your experience back to your home country, again, whatever it is you're looking for. So we offer a few different things to support you with that. First of all, we offer a range of extra specific events and workshops for international students. This can be anything from an introduction to the UK labour market, to explaining visas and how UK visas work, to other things like chatting to international alumni and building those wider networks. Alongside that, we also offer one-to-one advice and support specialised for international students, and also work with our visa advice team around visa queries if you have them, which I know, particularly with the introduction of the new graduate route visa we've had over this year, we've had a lot of our international students at postgrad level talking to us and working with us around that. Finally, on international student support, I think DMU as a careers service is one of the top in the UK for how passionate it is about supporting its international students. We're part of a wide network of universities that are, first of all, advocating international careers in the UK, but also coming together to provide a pool of resources for international students to use. So I've been talking quite a lot. I've got two more services that I'd like to talk about. Now, the first question that I know is going to be on quite a lot of people's minds around this year is how is it going to work in terms of the mix of online and face-to-face learning? Now, while I can't speak for the whole university around this, I can give you some insight in terms of careers and how it's going to work for the future, which I'm pretty excited about, and I think will combine the best of both worlds in terms of face-to-face and online. So what we're planning this year is that we've always had a very strong digital offer in DMU Works, and again, we've won a number of awards this year around our digital offer during the pandemic for our students. What we're going to offer this year is a mix of online and face-to-face support. So everything I've talked about today, the events, the one-to-one appointments, the resources, the job opportunities, is available to look at and use online as well as face-to-face. So for example, we are going to have face-to-face appointments and digital appointments. We've got events that are online as well as events that will be on campus. We've got a real mix of both from there. Hopefully what this will mean is that no matter where you are, whether you are on campus, whether you've got back home, either in the UK or to your home country for summer or something like that, you can still access all our services. Because we're aware that actually your career isn't something that you come and study for the 11 weeks of the semester and forget about when you go away. It's something that I imagine will be on your minds throughout your year of your postgraduate study, and also actually beyond that as well. And the final support and service that I'd like to talk about today is our DMU for Life offer. Now, I have had students, some of our students are graduating at the minute, and they're concerned about their career. They're concerned that they're leaving DMU and they're going to be left on their own with what they're doing for the rest of the world and the rest of their life. However, that is certainly not the case. And actually our DMU for Life offer, which is a wider offer, it's not just about careers, but also is linked to careers, offers you basically lifetime support after graduation. So what that means is the one-to-one appointments that I've talked about, the events, the access to job boards, all of those things are still available to you as a DMU graduate for as long as you need them. So, for example, I've supported postgraduates that are graduated 10 years ago, who are looking to make careers changes, supported some of our recent international graduates who are looking to secure work in the UK after graduation. We also have things like our Leicester 1000 project, which is looking at matching 1,000 graduates to 1,000 graduate opportunities in Leicester over the next 3 years. So there is a lot of support for you, not only at university, but once you graduate as well, for as long as you need it. So I think this is probably enough of me talking at you for today. What I've done is list 7 of our key services. So just to recap them, we've got our one-to-one support, advice and coaching. We've got our packed calendar of employer events. We've also got our job and internship opportunities, as well as our self-employment support. We've got that tailored support for international students, a mix of digital and face-to-face resources, and finally that lifetime offer to our careers service. However, as I've been saying throughout all of this, what very much our service is designed for is to be tailor fit for you, to be responsive to your needs, which is why now what I'm going to do is have a look at the questions and see if we can answer some in a Q&A. Now, as I said, what I'm going to do is just have a look at the comments and take these one by one. If there's something I can't answer because of my particular specialism, what I'll do is share my email. We can take it away together and work on it beyond today as a live stream. So let's have a look. So Suraj, start with a question that I'm not going to be able to answer too much. Suraj has asked us, can you please tell us about a postgraduate course for civil engineering? Now, Suraj, my specialism is actually more with the business and law faculty than the engineering faculty overall. So I don't have too much of an understanding for that. What I'd recommend you to do is to email me with a question. What we'll do is I'll put you in touch with the course leaders around that, just to have a bit more of a chat around it. So if there is a specific question you had around that, for example, with placement opportunities or support around that, post it in the chat and I'll let you know. Now let's have a look for what else we've got. And great to see, hello everyone who's coming in. See a few people from India. Great to see you here. Govinda, so Govinda's asked, again, Govinda, this would probably be a question that's not something I can deal with as a careers advisor, but we can certainly look at. Govinda said you got questions about your confirmation of acceptance of studies letter, saying you've got an incorrect one. That's totally fine, Govinda. We can deal with that. I can see actually we've commented there. We've got our admissions team who can help you with that. If you email on the 6th of September, we can chase that up for you, Govinda. It might be that because it's quite a busy time, it might just take them a while to respond, but we can look into that for you. Again, feel free to email me. And I don't know if it's possible for my the coordinator to post my email in the chat, which is sam.parr@dmu.ac.uk. Brilliant, thank you very much. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm just going through it all. So Mariana, I see Mariana's posted a question. I know, Mariana, we have been in contact actually over email. I'm not sure if you recognize my name. But so Mariana's asked, which company is it possible to work with after completing the Global Masters in Business Administration? And what job position is it possible to hold without work experience after an MBA? So Mariana, this is a fantastic question. Quite a big question as well, so I'll just give you an idea of this. Now, first of all, I want to focus on what you said about having no work experience after your MBA. Now, this is something that I would challenge you on, because when we think of work experience with a capital W, you think, oh, I don't have any, but actually many of the graduate employers, particularly for graduate schemes that you might be looking at after your MBA, aren't expecting you to have loads of experience in the sector they're going for. What they'll also look for is things like volunteering experience, part-time work experience, extracurricular experience, anything you have that has been developing as transferable skills for them in the future. And with that in mind, actually the type of company and the job position that you can look for after your global MBA is hugely broad. And really it would depend on your interests. So I'll give you an idea of some of the classic destinations global MBA students go into, but also caveat that with there's a lot of variety in there. So very commonly, MBA students can go into areas around business, as business managers. They can also go into areas in marketing, in sales. They can go into project management. It's quite a common one for them to be interested in. So a variety of those areas of stuff that are classic destinations. That said, many of the opportunities that, and particularly in the UK, they're also globally, that an MBA unlocks, it's quite broad. So for example, and this is the same for a lot of our postgraduate degrees, to be fair, often employers will be less concerned with the specifics of exactly what you studied and more on what you studied has pushed you as an individual, how it's developed your transferable skills. So for example, we've had MBA graduates who have started their own business, We've had MBA graduates who've gone into the tech sector. We've had MBA graduates who've gone into engineering sectors, who've done, for example, engineering as their undergraduate degree, then taken an MBA and then taken both of them forward with them. I also recently had a chat with an MBA student who wanted to be a pottery maker and an artist. So they had arts as a background. They had their MBA for that business. They were looking to combine them together to start their own freelancing business. So Mariana, that's quite a broad answer to your question. Perhaps, again, I was chatting with you over email, what would be useful to know is if there's a specific area that you're interested in, I can give you a little bit more detail about. So feel free to post in the chat about that, or just let me know over email. We can talk more about that. But hopefully that gives you some insight that actually there's a huge variety of companies it's possible to work with after completing an MBA, and also a huge variety of job positions. So I'm just going to look through the rest. So Mohammed's asked, so you select the MSc in Accounting and Finance and requested to provide a placement year. So this is a good question to have overall, Mohammed. So something I want to clarify is that for those of you who are on a placement year course, the university won't guarantee you a provided placement year. It'll be your responsibility to secure and get that placement year. However, what we do provide is a variety of support to help you do that. So we have in every faculty, we have a dedicated team that will give you one-to-one advice, one-to-one training, as well as group training around finding opportunities. They'll also secure a number of different placement opportunities for you, many exclusive to DMU students, and send them on to you. However, it's not going to be a case that you just turn up and get given a placement. You have to prove yourself to that employer. We'll give you a huge amount of support to do that. But like with anything, it's about what you put in, it's about what you get out of it. So for that, we won't offer a guaranteed placement year where you just turn up and get it. Mohammed, also with your MSc in Accounting and Finance course, I don't believe they actually have a placement year option. However, what I'd like to do with you is chat about that more, and let's see if we can get some clarity around that. So I've got my email at sam.parr@dmu.ac.uk. There you go. Thank you for bringing that up. If you email me there, we'll have a look into this for you. But I think, first of all, they wouldn't guarantee you a placement, provide lots of support. But also, I don't think your MSc in Accounting and Finance would give you the option for a placement year in the first place. So let's have a look. And so Aparna has asked about starting issuing offer letters. Aparna, I'm afraid I don't know that as a careers advisor. Feel free to contact me and I'll see if I can direct you to the right department for that, though. So sorry, I can't provide you an answer there. Generally, as a careers advisor, I'm more focused on the career side of things, particularly in business and law. So I don't always know about the details of the admin around admissions and things like that. But possibly, actually, it might be better, instead of emailing me, to email admissions@dmu.ac.uk, has been posted in the chat already. Excellent. And there it is up for you as well. And same for Jenan around your conditional offer, I'd recommend contacting admissions@dmu.ac.uk, or alternatively, you can ring them on 0116 207 8443. It's the +44 UK international code if you're calling from abroad. And Mohammed, you're certainly right that a placement will boost your career opportunities. What I will say actually around placements, just as another thing for you all, is that if your course doesn't provide a placement, there are still a number of different options for you. For example, as I said, we have an internship scheme. We also offer a variety of internship schemes on our job board that you can apply for over summer to get that experience. So while it's not a full year-long placement, we still do offer some of those experiences. It's also worth looking into, alongside that, what your course offers in terms of final projects. So for example, Mohammed, for accounting and finance, you might have the opportunity with your final project, MSc, to do some sort of business research or business consultancy. Will still give you some of that practical industry experience. And something else I also haven't said today when I've been talking about job and experience opportunities is, as I was mentioning to Mariana, is that actually employers don't just expect and don't just want to see relevant work experience that is totally relevant to them. For example, let's say you're applying for an engineering degree or an engineering role or something like that, they don't necessarily expect just to see engineering experience on there. Same if you're applying to be a trainee solicitor or something like that on a training contract, they don't expect you just to have legal experience on there. They are looking for that broader settlement of your skills. They're looking for what you've done at university and the transferable skills it's built that you can bring to them. And so when I've been talking about experienced opportunities, what I haven't said, which I should have said, is that alongside those job experience and internship opportunities, we also offer a huge range of other ways you can get involved and build that extracurricular experience at DMU. Now, I particularly know about the business and law faculty because that's where I specialize. So I'll give you some examples from there, but this will be the same in every faculty. But for example, in business law, there's a variety of different competitions, business simulations, team challenges, events, and general opportunities to work with trading room software and things like that can be really useful developing those professional skills alongside job and internship experiences. So I see we've got a few people on the chat here asking. I think Govinda and Mohammed, I've already asked your questions. Rush, great to see you. Hello from Malaysia, and can't wait to see you if you're joining DMU. Looking forward to welcoming you. We'll probably have an induction. You might see me again if you're from Malaysia in the next couple of weeks at our induction, so I look forward to seeing you there. So Harriet's asked about applying for a PGCE, starting your Masters in English this year. Harriet, what I'd recommend you do, if that's all right, is email me about that. Because as I said, I specialize in business and law, so I don't have that much special knowledge about teaching. However, just as a general rule of thumb around there for the PGCE, probably recommend that you apply. If you have a look on the PGCE websites, they'll have the deadlines. I'd recommend you apply sooner rather than later, but also look to work on that application to make it a quality application. We can help you with PGCE applications if you want. And that's the same for anyone. Some of the career service offers around anything is not just support with finding jobs, it's also with further study if you wish. If you're interested in doing a PhD or going on to do, for example, a doctor's of business administration or something like that, we can help you with those applications. It's also worth noting, Harriet, which you might already be aware of, so apologies if I'm talking about things you already know, but alongside the PGCE, there are other options for going straight into qualified teacher status. There's a number of schemes like Teach First, which you might have heard of, as well as I think it's Premier Pathways and a number of others that run throughout the year that you can apply for next year's intake. So for example, with Teach First, you'd apply for it often in autumn. They do rolling deadlines, and then you start next year after you finish your Masters. So it's worth being aware of those as well. So alongside your PGCE, you might want to look into other opportunities and other routes into teaching that you can apply for well if you're interested in. As I said, though, I'm not specialized in that area, so give me an email and we'll get you some more detail. I'm just looking through the chat now, guys. We've got a couple more minutes, so we'll see if we can answer everyone's questions overall. Anita's asked, do we support internship opportunities in banks? We do have a few of these posted on our platforms every year, Anita, and we would certainly support you with this in a variety of different ways to support you with the applying for them, supporting you with the interviews and things like that. So yes, overall, yes, we do support internship opportunities in banks. Alongside that, from your question, I'm imagining that you might be interested in some of our business and law postgraduate courses. We also have a number of opportunities to work within your degree within relevant companies that you're interested in. So there's a number of different things like consultancy challenges and executive company projects will give you a chance to work with businesses like banks if you're interested in them. Sorry, I'm just looking through here. Okay, guys, we're almost out of time. We're going to see if I can answer everyone's questions quickly, though. As I said, do get in contact with me after this if you still have questions. I'm aware I haven't been able to answer everyone's questions today. So Hafsat talked about being a global MBA student interested in exploring business process outsourcing, marketing, advertising. Yes, all of those would be perfectly viable to look at with an MBA. Hafsat, what I'd probably say for you to do is if you have those specialisms in mind, use that when you're making your module choices on your MBA, but also use that with what you're doing with your extracurricular activities alongside your MBA to focus in. So let's say you're interested in marketing and advertising. We do a number of different events throughout the year with marketing employers, have a number of different opportunities around that. So what I'd recommend you to do, if you know you're interested in that sector, is do your MBA, focus on that area, also try and get extracurricular activities and experience around that. And also, if you can, look at internship opportunities, which we can support you with in those areas and really get yourself a full portfolio for when you come to apply for future jobs in those sectors. So Happiness has asked about how the MSc in Energy and Sustainable Development's placement option works. Happiness, again, happy to chat more with you about this. How it usually works is you'll be given a year of your course to start your course, where you'll be doing your course. Alongside that time, you'll be getting sent placement opportunities to apply for. You'll be sitting for a variety of different opportunities and training to develop your skills for applying for those placements. Then hopefully once you've secured an opportunity, which I said we do give you a lot of support around, you then go on to do your placement for a year. In that year, or sometimes it can be less, but it's usually a year. In that year, you would complete a variety of different pieces of coursework. You'd have a dedicated tutor from the university who supports you with that, who's worked in industry and worked in academia to kind of bridge those two worlds. You complete that placement year, then you come back and do your final project. So that's how it would work overall. You'd have a year of study where you apply for placements and get support from our placements team, do your placement, you complete some placement coursework and get a support contact from the university, and then finally come back to university to do your final project. And often there with placements, what students choose to do is actually focus their final project on something that they've learned about in their placement. And it might even be something that's relevant to the company they've worked on their placement with. And Pinky's asked about MA and HR management. I'm afraid placement isn't available for that either, Pinky. I don't think it is available for business and law courses. However, it's worth asking the admissions team just in case. But as far as I'm aware, there isn't a full year-long placement option for the Human Resources Management course. Okay, so final couple of questions. TAF, as you said, that placements aren't guaranteed. I'm afraid there is a possibility of rejection when applying. We give you a lot of support. Generally, what I find is the students that come along to the training, who work on that and put the work in, will get placements, whereas those who don't, who think they're just going to be given a placement, won't find a placement. So that's what I'd say there. It's not guaranteed, but we do give you a lot of support for it. At Queen, as I said, you won't get a placement. There's not a placement option in the International Business and Management MSc. Similarly for Law LLB, there's not a formal placement option. There is the opportunity to do internships and experience during your holidays and part-time alongside your course. Final question then, I think, before we're going to have to end it, guys. We are running over slightly, but as I said, you can get in touch with us to discuss some of these things further. Anita's asked about how likely is it that get a job in the banking field as soon as you graduate. Anita, with no work experience, Anita, this is a good question. What I say is it kind of depends on you and the amount of work you put in. So usually, to be honest, it's quite common, particularly in banking, for it to take a year or two after graduation to make your way into that sector because it is a competitive sector. That said, it depends on what you do during your time with us. If you're really dedicated as a student, if you take opportunities to network, to come along to a lot of the events we're putting on around banking, to focus on those areas. If you have some coaching appointments with us to work out what you have to offer to the banking community, what you have to offer to industry, then you're far more likely to succeed and get there sooner than if you don't do that extra work during your studies. So sorry about that. It's a bit of a how long is a piece of string. It could be quite soon after graduation if you get onto one of the banking graduate schemes, that they are quite competitive, or it could take a couple of years depending on your focus. Okay, all. I have talked a lot today over this past half hour. I hope that was useful overall to give you an insight into some of the career support available for postgrads at DMU. As I said, my email is available there. Until then, though, I'm going to close the live stream today and hope to see you with us whenever it is that you're hoping to join. So look forward to welcoming you whenever that is in a variety of different ways. Thanks all. Have a great day.